and welcome to Youth Empowerment. If you will, most of you will know me as Maria Irimama. I am a regular here on the show, and today I will be joined by Anthonia, Vwede, Ziregbe.
Hi everybody, my name's what she said, exactly. You can just call me Vwede for short, yeah.
And today we will be discussing hobbies. Now, most of us use hobbies as a way to fill up our time, not get bored, and some of us even are lucky enough to be able to make something out of our hobbies that we wouldn't otherwise be able to. As an example, we would like to talk about some of our own experiences and how we've gotten around using our hobbies to further improve ourselves in our personal and professional lives.
Yeah, well first of all, some people need to understand the terminology or the term hobby or hobbies, right?
Yeah.
So I think if you can just bless the people out there with what the definition is to you, what does it mean?
To me, having a hobby is more important than the definition of an actual hobby. A hobby is a time-wasting method, really.
Wasting.
Yeah, I mean, you could call it wasting if you're not participating in your hobby actively, if you're not paying attention to what you're doing, if you're just doing it just because it's mind-numbing, just to fill up time. And I think that's the big distinction that I want to make. It's, are you wasting time or are you gaining time when it comes to your hobbies?
Right. Well, that's a good one, but I would say a hobby is something or activities or, things that you love to do and are passionate to do. So a hobby is not just what you think in your mind, but what you actually actively do in times that you have to spare. Okay? So, in other words, when you, for example, I'll use myself as an example. I love music. Music is a hobby to me, but also kind of like, because I love it so much, it becomes, okay, you know how, let me just throw that in the air. You know how we have certain type of relationships and you say, I'm in an entanglement, or I'm in a dating episode, or I'm in a serious, official, exclusive relationship. So to me, hobbies are like an entanglement that can grow into a career or grow into something that you take super seriously. So in my sense of view, like a hobby is doing something you love and are passionate in doing them. But then again, if you take a hobby seriously because of the love you have for it, it can turn into something else. It can blossom into, something way better than you expect. And obviously it will help to shape up your character as a person.
Like, there's ways to use a hobby to distinguish yourself from other people, and I've personally done that.
Yeah.
For example, I write in my spare time. Nothing substantial, but I do write to develop skills. And I love it. It's a good way for me to just relax. It's a good way for me to put down ideas on paper. And I think that's what I love most about it. It makes me think, and that's quite often what I like in my hobbies. I want to be able to think without having to think about anything in specific.
That's interesting. That's true. I do have people who have, because everybody has, their own niche or what they like doing, and to other people it might seem alien or foreign to them.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I have a friend who likes to, in his spare time, he just likes to create things. Like, he's good with his hands. So he's innovative. He can just wake up one morning and say, I want to create something that, I don't know, purifies air or and he makes some wacky stuff, and that's like that's what he loves doing. Some people look at that as stress. Like, yo, why would I want to be, that's like doing engineering, or you're doing some that's like work, man, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
But some people, that's their hobby, So what keeps you going is defined by how you see it from your eyes. So, there's a saying that says, beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. So as hobby lies in the eyes of the beholder.
Yeah.
And like
hobby
she's clearly
lies
said,
in the eyes of who's doing the work.
Exactly. And like she clearly says, Maria clearly said, it's something that would help define your character. So if your hobby is like, oh, you like to go hiking, you like to go camping, you like to, I don't know, do, just a seance and stuff, you'll be classified as someone that is adventurous, as someone that is, I don't know, exciting or want to explore, an explorer. If you like to cook, you like to, I don't know, draw, whatever, you can be classified as an individual who is artistic or likes to, a chef or whatever you want to call that, So I would say a hobby is one of the defining factors that helps define a person and his character, They just put you in a category in life, basically.
I mean, I would say that a hobby definitely helps you when you're first picking out which sort of career path you want to go into.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
Like, most people, a lot of people, would not know what they want to be when they finish with school, or even started picking out their options of limiting down the courses that you're taking to just a specific few. And I think that having a hobby that you're interested in, it often helps narrow that decision down to a few options. Now, there was something you said a couple of weeks ago, I think it was the first time you were on the show, just before we started filming, of you love music, but you're so glad you didn't take music as a course.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And I think that is something that you have to think. Should a hobby be invested in as a educational pursuit, or should it just be strictly personal and professional?
I think, like I said, it depends on who's doing it, like So there are people that are good with, academical, like you structure some things within the academics. And there are people who flourish outside the academics, just like business. The best businessmen didn't go to school, They flourish in business because that's what they like. It's their hobby. They grew in that. But people that go to school end up working for these business tycoons that they didn't. And I see it like this: a gift and a talent. A gift, you're gifted. A talent, you learn. Skills, you acquire them. So it's the same thing when it comes to hobbies, like like for me, when I said that I'm happy I didn't go to school to do music, is because it would have put me in a tight box, so to speak, because then I won't be able to freely do my thing the way I want to do it. I'll be like, oh, because Beethoven did this, or because Tina Turner did this, or because this person did this, that's the structure they left behind, so I have to follow. I don't want to follow nobody. A hobby is like, it's where you are your own leader, where you're your own best, if I should put it that way. So you have enough room to spread out and do your own thing.
It's the room for
to explore
your own style
exactly.
Instead of following what other people have
Exactly. Hence why, if you have a hobby, I'm not just saying don't go to school. You can if you want to. It depends on what you like. Do you like things, like I said, done academically, or do you feel your hobby is something that is a gift to you? So you have to be you have to learn how to discern, to understand whether or not this hobby of mine that I love so much, that I'm passionate enough to do, is something that I feel it's inherent to me, that it just flows naturally, or something I like and I would like to learn to do. So then you can differentiate, okay, am I going to take my hobby to school? Like, let's say, for example, you see a child, 5-6-year-old, and he or she loves to paint, right? And she wasn't taught, or he wasn't taught how to paint, but it just comes naturally. I don't think I want to take my child to school to learn that, because he already has, or she already has that, But I would obviously take him or her to places that he or her can explore the artistic nature that he or she holds. So art galleries, museums, things that are really, that can drive and give, like a catalyst to that gift they have. But if I see and have a child who loves to draw, but isn't really good, but there's passion in there, I could say, I will take it to art school. So you have to learn that there's a thin line that differentiates, when it comes to hobby, in the gift and in the talented one. So it's like, it's a bit tricky, but then if you know what you're good at and you know where you lie, like your stance in your hobby, you know what to do from there, whether to take it up as a career, take it up into school, or just keep doing you and make money, man.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that I have noticed with taking an arts course in school, in particular, was it teaches you to compare your work and the way that you work with the way that other people work, you know? It's not a matter of, I need to follow what Tina Turner has done, or I need to follow what Brecht has done, or anything like that. It's a matter of, how can I take what Brecht has done, change it up in my own way, put my own spin on it, and have that as a structure to work off of? Or would I rather just work on independently on what I want to do and create something entirely new that people will study in the future when I'm gone, right? And I find that fascinating because I am a firm believer in you're never dead until your name's dead, right? And if you leave something substantial enough in the world, that your name never dies when you're never dead, right? So, to me, I think that a hobby can turn into a lot more than just a profession. It can turn into a lot more than just a passion.
Of course.
It can really just turn into a legacy if you let it.
Of course, like you clearly said, I do get that where it comes to what you're basically talking about is motivation outside yourself. You go to school, your course mates, you get motivated or you get intimidated. Depends on where you stand. Yeah, that helps for some people. Like that's why I differentiated it, gifted and talented. So if you're gifted, I believe you don't need to go to school to do that. I believe if you're gifted, you are your own leader in your own sphere of your own circle, in your own right, and hence you could build a legacy. If you're talented, I would advise you go to school to learn more, gather more skills and acquire more skills, and then see other people's work. Even if you're gifted, the one thing I like about gifted people is that they just don't do them. They explore, they go around, they see things, they go to they visit places, go to different countries, see the different culture, different what they do. They want to see other people do it and see what is different between their work. It's the same thing with school. You do something, a project, and you see other people's projects. You either say, okay, I want to use the formula you use to see if I can use mine to do it to me and get better, or you'll be like, oh, mine's better than yours, and just start having issues with inferiority complex. And it happens. I mean, it happened to me in college. It happened to me in university, where people would be like, because I first did my undergraduate degree was in journalism and film and television, right? And I would have my colleagues. They're all like, this, that. And I was trying to win the best writer for op-ed pieces for newspapers, right? And have different people who were on the league, I would say, who were great writers as well. I would call them great writers because I'm honest. When it comes to people, I try to be honest when it comes to appreciating people's gifts and talents and skills. And they were really good, but then I felt I was good enough too. So it kind of puts that way you test your character, you see. Because I think hobbies is one way of testing character, not just building character.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, okay, what kind of person am I? Am I the appreciative type that will learn from other people and try and put it on mine so I can gain something? Or am I the type that sees everything as a competition? Unhealthy competition.
Ooh. Now, there's a difference between healthy and unhealthy competition.
Oh, yeah.
And I think we'll get to that at some point in the future.
Yeah.
But
totally.
I thought of a question just now. And it's, what's the best teacher when it comes to anything in life, not just hobbies, but mainly gaining skills and applying them? Would you say that it's the academic system itself or life?
I would say experience. Now, experience, hold on. Experience is this. It could be life experience as a whole, or it could be academic experience. But the thing with academic experience is that you are put in an institution, which is kind of like a box. So you can't really find different, like, okay, for example, emotional, well, all those elements, they are kind of in academics, but it's within the ball of academic or academia, So when I say experience, like, okay,
it's in a way
time,
censored.
Yeah, it's exactly. But life is not censored. Life doesn't care.
Yeah.
Life will give it to you however it likes to give it to you.
Life
And they don't care. Life will just like, hey, this is life. We'll roll in. If you don't want to roll with us, that's your problem. But at the same time, I think experience in the whole is the best teacher in life, and how you perceive and experience your experience is key. So, and how you take it as well is key. So, for example, I love music. It's my hobby. I love music enough to make it my career, you know, and I love music enough to try and live a legacy. You know what I mean? So it's that deep. My hobby is that deep. Yeah. But at the same time, I believe I'm gifted because I feel I didn't learn how to sing. I didn't learn how to play some instruments. I didn't learn how to do certain things that people are talented in doing, like learn, get the skills. I was just happened to be blessed by that, which I'm grateful for. And I felt I didn't have the need to go to school to do that. But then I had the need to experience other people outside the walls of academia. So I would go to different shows, see different artists perform, go to different producers' houses, see how they produce. That's me rubbing off of other people that I feel are gifted or talented in that area of music, you know? So that's me experiencing that. And then also experiencing the journey of a musician. You know, not just in the four walls of school, academia, but in the four walls of life itself. So going to shows, being disappointed, being rejected by record labels, you know, all those things are experienced. Being cheated, the business side of music, you know. So and also being exploited in the creative side of music, you know. So there's so many experiences you learn based on the hobby you choose to hold on to. You know, so it could be like I said. So that's my experience. And there are other things that I experienced, but I can't share that with you guys. But you know, the other things that I experienced. But then, experience is the best teacher because it's through those experiences I learned how to level up. I learned how to balance myself. I learned how to be a better person as Vwede, you know. And I also learned how to deal with people business-wise, you know. So without those experiences, I wouldn't have known how the music business runs, the industry. I wouldn't have known the do's and the don'ts of an artist and whatever. I wouldn't have known certain things that are important, you know, as important elements of music in general. So experience is key. And also when it comes to academia as well, experience is key as well. It's just like she said, it's censored to some degree, all right? I remember when I was in school. Well, I'm still in school. I'm doing my PhD now, but not like a regular student. But yeah, I remember when I was in school and we would do like some TV courses because I did for my master's. I did film production for my master's degree, and I experienced the business side of film production because I was like, you know what, I wanna focus on being a producer and being a director, but I was more focused on the producing side because I love writing. I like legal stuff. I like ethics and you know all that stuff going on, and I learned the hard way through experience, through doing a project that. Not everybody's normal. I'm telling you the truth. Not everyone is normal. See, you know, it's crazy. Like there's a woman that was on our set and she tried to exploit us and lied and did some crazy things. And thank God I learnt the do's and the don'ts of a producer. So all my documentations were sealed, signed, and good to go. And she had forgotten she signed a contract with me, but months earlier, because I like to do things really early. And not when it gets closer to the date of the principal production. So she had forgotten that 3 months ago, she had signed a contract that had some serious, you know, serious details within that contract. And she lied. And what she lied about was stated in the contract that, you know, that made her look like a liar. I mean, she lied. And that's what saved myself, my crew, everyone. And it saved us like £2,000 issue, to be honest. So yeah, experience in school will teach you how to deal with people when you get into the real world. You know, so experience, yeah. You know, it's,
take it as you may, but
exactly.
More comfortable.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh Lord, I have some experiences of why I am really thankful that I'm taking some of the courses that I'm taking.
Yeah.
Because I will say I take business. Right. I've done business for about 2 months now, and I can already feel myself starting to gain that confidence and that.
Oh, good.
Not really that slyness and that manipulativeness of a businessman, but I can already feel myself gaining that sort of. I feel confident enough to take what I want without begging for it. I'm asking, but I'm not begging.
Yeah.
I'm nobody's I'm nobody's plaything. I'm nobody's puppet. I work for myself and myself only, right? And I think that some hobbies will teach you, like some passions will teach you that the world is more complex and you have to fight. It's a dog-eat-dog world.
Oh,
and
yeah.
some things will teach you that more than others.
Oh yeah, I like what she said. It's a dog eat dog world. Trust me. When you get into the world, you then see that, like we clearly said in the beginning, hobby builds character, and so you do things you like doing or you love doing or passionate about doing. And when you get into the real world and it turns into a career for you, hopefully, or turns into a legacy for you, hopefully, you will find people who are in the same ball with you, but are so toxic.
Oh, toxicity.
You know, when they were doing their hobbies and all that stuff, they didn't learn how to grow themselves to be positive and to be, you know, impact people in a positive way. They grew themselves in negative competition. You know, so when you see them in your workplace or on your crew or on set, you know, you have to learn how to curb them. I would say, you know, because yeah, I've been through that. I did cinematography for a while, and I remember when I was put with some Italian guy. He came from Italy and he was doing the camera work, and part of his characteristics that he was a sexist. You know, he didn't respect women. He didn't believe women can handle the camera. He didn't believe nothing like that. You know, and that kind of turned me off and turned my friends off. Like the crew members were like, because there's 3 of us that were camera girls, right? And he was the only guy there, and he would like make some certain remarks and stuff. So you need to, your hobby would teach you how to deal with certain people.
That sort of criticism and just. I mean, I hear what you're saying, but I'm also not listening.
You're not listening.
Like, no, it's like. You hear what these sort of people are saying, and you appreciate that they haven't been taught properly, and their views are a bit toxic and manipulative, and you don't really want to associate with that. And the moment you realize that that's something you don't want to associate with, it's just in through one ear, out the other.
Oh, definitely. Oh, yeah, definitely. Because, like, you know, like you said, I hear what you're listening, but I hear what you're saying, but I'm not listening. That was kind of like the scenario. But then, because certain people, they haven't grown, they're not mature enough in their character and their hobbies and stuff. So they go there. Like one of them just started to spar. They were like, "What?" And then she was going off at him and everything. I was just this quiet looking, but everybody is like, okay. My issue was, because I was the co-producer as well. So my issue was, once this is over, I'm going to walk straight up to the producer and say, "Listen, we need to fire this guy." And then write a reference that will go online. So wherever he puts up his thing for his freelance resume, it will be put there that he is a narcissist, he is a sexist. Yeah, because that's what he displayed on set. So that's him hindering himself for the future. Yeah. You know? So it's learning how to deal with certain issues, you know, when you're doing your hobby or whatever, and learn how to, you know, solve and appreciate the people that are there, or not appreciate the people that are there, but in a very mature way. You know, that is positive, and you can still breathe. You know, like you're dying on set or something. But yeah, there's one thing that came to my attention, and it was like, why is it that people who have hobbies that they love end up not doing their hobbies because they feel it's not relevant enough or not serious enough, you know, to take as a job or a career?
I think that I'll take this from a creative standpoint because that's what I'm most familiar with. And that's where I think that most people just give it up as a hobby and don't pursue it any further. I think with that, it's sort of the stigma around that sort of industry is it's competitive, it's badly paid, it's a trap. I mean, there's a reason why trap music is called trap, because you can't get out of it. There's a reason why all of these musicians and film actors and even some artists, like painters and everything. There's a reason why none of them, or very few of them, have a very good mental health. And it's because they've got the stress of their career and their reputation to carry around, because their reputation holds so much more weight. And the moment that reputation drops, their entire career is finished. They don't have a backup.
Yeah.
Because their name is known everywhere, you know.
True.
Your reputation fails you in one field that has your name plastered over everything, and everybody recognizes you. The moment you try to get employment in another field is, you're that one. You're the one that had the scandal a few years back. Oh, I don't want to associate with you. No, thank you. Yeah, and I think that's one of the major reasons that people don't pursue their hobbies pursue creative hobbies that far. And another reason is just plain old, it takes a lot out of you to have the perseverance to go through with it.
Oh yeah, definitely. I believe that. I believe that. I feel that because it kind of, I won't say it happened to me because I'm quite stubborn. When I like something, I go for it. I'm like rugged that way. But I do know certain people who are close to me who, you know, they since we were little kids, like we all saw each other's strengths, you know, and what we love to do, and some of them just ended up not doing it, and they're so unhappy.
Mm.
But then it's hard for them to like pick it up again. Like, so I'm just here to motivate people out there, viewers, audiences, like, you know, no matter what you see and do as a hobby, I know people say hobbies are different from real life, but I would pitch it to you that that's a lie. I'll pitch it to you that it's how you see life that it makes your reality. And if you see your hobbies as something that is impactful, is meaningful, will bring happiness, will bring some sort of bridge connecting, you know, the world together, I think you should go for it. I think it's hard to pursue hobbies, especially when it's creative hobbies. But even science hobbies, like sometimes it's really hard because then you need to start, you know, obviously investing in innovations or whatever, chemicals and all that stuff, and go joining schools and, you know, all that kind of stuff. It's all about time investment, you know, and passion, you know. But then I advise that, you know, you follow your dreams, follow your hobbies, do what you can, you know, to make it a reality, make it your reality, because my reality and your reality are two different things. You know, we have the world, we get it, but how we see and perceive the world is how, you know, it's going to help us make our hobbies to be meaningful, you know. So I would suggest to you that please follow your hobbies, do what makes you happy, and pay close attention to what really gives you joy. Pay close attention to what you're passionate about. You know, what makes you wake up in the morning with so much zeal, so much enthusiasm to do and do well. You know, and when you find out all the stuff, then you start to ask yourself, how can I make money from this? How can this be lucrative? How can this be monetized? You know, how can I make a living basically out of this hobby that I have? And then once that kicks in, then you start to think about other bigger things. Like, do I want to leave a legacy? Like Maria clearly said, you know, there's so many things that go into hobbies, just the underlining, the foundation. So if you're willing to sow seed on that foundation, or you're willing to design the foundation properly, trust me, your furnace, the house you're going to build will be exceptional. When I say house, I don't mean literally. Or it could be literal for some people, but I'm talking about, like, you know, like your things you like to do. So if you are an architecture, your hobby is always buildings and construction and all that stuff, and maybe, just maybe, obviously you need to go to school for that or do some things for that, and you don't have the money and you're discouraged, or someone in your family or friends say that's not for you, you should do this and do that. My brother, my sister, wherever you are, wherever you're watching, please go back to your drawing board. Go back to that central unit that sparked a fire you knew in the first place. Do the architecture, because that's what's going to make you happy. That's what's going to give you fulfillment. And that's what's going to give you the bigger credits, the bigger money. Trust me. Don't settle for peanuts. All right. Don't settle for jobs or stuff that, you know, it's easy and you know the money's gone. Settle for what really, really makes you happy. All right. But I'm not just discrediting that. Don't do jobs. Don't do your jobs. Save up the money. Invest in your hobby. Trust me. Will make a difference at the end of the day.
Yeah.
All right. Anything you want to say, Maria, before we close?
With that, they do say follow your path in life. Don't go for someone else's, and I think that really strikes hard here.
I like that.
Your mind has already set you the path in life that you're going to take, and you don't have a choice to that. I mean, you have a choice to pursue it or not to.
Exactly.
And the thing is, the moment that you quit pursuing it is the moment that you start drifting back into that cycle of, I'm not happy with what I'm doing. I don't want to be doing this. I want to go back to what I love doing, but I can't because I'm stuck.
Yeah, that's true.
And the moment that you give up on a dream is the moment that the dream's dead.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. It all starts up here, the mind. The mind is the genesis and the revelation. The mind is the start and the end. If in your mind you've told yourself, nada, it's not going to work. Yeah. It won't work. Because you just told yourself that. You believe that. But if you believe in your heart and heart in your mind that, okay, it seems like it's hard, it seems impossible, but I'll try.
Bring it on.
Oh yeah, bring it on. Let's do this, man.
And then, you know, for a challenge is always promising something.
Oh yeah, yeah. Trust me.
If experience has told me anything, it's the hardest things in life and the hardest challenges are the ones that bring the best rewards.
Oh yes.
And the
Oh, yes.
satisfaction that comes with overcoming them is absolutely amazing. You know.
Exactly. So please, people out there, do what you must. Follow your dreams, follow your passion, follow your hobbies, and make life your blissful palace, man. Make life happy. Make life what you want it to be. Don't follow anybody's dreams. Follow yours. That's my little nugget to you today. So yeah.
Well, I would say that that's all we have for tonight.
Oh yeah.
I wish everybody a wonderful, wonderful time. If we have not covered anything in today's episode that you would like us to cover, we have a new platform that we are promoting. It should be down in the description with a link to join, and you will be able to speak to us individually or yourselves among each other.
Yeah, definitely.
And yeah, I think that is it.
Oh yeah, and also if you have any business you want to promote on our channel, please do send us your business stuff, your products, whatever it may be. Someone else that's watching this out there might need your products or your services, so please contact us on the number below shown on the screen. And yeah, have a good one. All right.